Alright, today I'm doing a review on the Springfield Armory EMP 9mm. EMP stands for Enhanced Micro Pistol. I bought this pistol just about a year ago, and I would say I've put 500 to 700 rounds through it. That's all different kinds of ammo, mainly ball, but of course I've tested out different hollow points to make sure it functioned well. So let's take a look at it. I said this is the 9mm. It does come in 40 as well, and I think for a while they made it in gap 45. So in the box you get your instructions. You also get a little holster, which is here. It's not the most useful thing, but if you don't have a holster, it works well. I mean, you can just slap it on and it goes right on your, right through your belt. Comes with magazine holder for 2 magazines. This also just goes through your belt loops, real simple. I used it just to mess around with it at first, but I don't carry it with it. Not sure if this is to attach a tack light or if they were just trying to give it a more tactical look, but it does have a mil-spec rail looking thing engraved in the plastic, so molded into the plastic. You get your instruction manual, all your cautions. Comes with a gun lock. Toss that out. Lifetime warranty, which I have used on this. I'll get into that later. Alright. The pistol comes with a cleaning rod, which is in my cleaning kit. You have the pistol itself, and then you have actually 3 magazines. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so I can get a better view of it. Okay, so like I said, it comes with 3 pistols. It actually comes with an ambi safety. If you notice on this one, there's a single-sided safety. I actually got this from Iron Chin, who does gun torture tests. I think it's guntorturetest.com. He's definitely on YouTube. I went and got this from him when I was visiting in Tulsa. I just like the slimness that it provides. I'm not left-handed. I understand the use and that some right-handers would want in case they needed to use it left-handed, but for me it really cut down and slimmed down the design, which is the whole reason that I bought the EMP in the first place. It's clear. Actually, I haven't cleaned this since the last time I used it. The magazines, manufactured in Italy. I've also heard the complaint with the magazines that people are worried because they're different than a traditional 9mm magazine that they'll be different than a traditional 1911 magazine, I apologize, that they'll be hard to find. Well, they're not expensive. They're $25 and they're in abundance. They're everywhere. So if you're worried about that, buy 20 of them now. It's not a full-size combat pistol. It's definitely a carry pistol, and I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, these hold 9+1. I've seen modifications that take this off the end and subtract 1 round. I just haven't felt the need to do that yet. This comes with the wood grips. You can also get it with a G10 grip. I had a lot more aggressive set of grips on here, and to be honest, I don't wear an undershirt very often, and it really just gripped my skin all day long. I mean, I had a rash on my back. I carry it in, actually have it on, Galco King Tuck, very similar to the Super Tuck. Great holster. I think I got it for $36 when I was up in Tulsa visiting. Comes with night sights. See if you can see those there. Very visible, very easy. Difference between this and, let's say, a Kimber Micro 1911. One is most of the Kimbers are going to be in 45. The EMP was designed around the 9mm cartridge, so you're going to have a shorter parts. The total circumference of the grip is shorter, and I think maybe 9 different parts throughout here are not compatible with your standard 1911. My favorite thing about this pistol, one, is how slim it is. It's made for concealed carry. It's not, your average range toy. I love shooting it. It's one of my favorite guns to shoot, and usually when I take it out shooting, people are really impressed. They're really surprised about how good the trigger is. Dry firing it won't show you the trigger, but I mean, it's just effortless. And then the reset is just minimal. There's hardly any reset there. I don't know if that shows well on video, but usually I take out the Glock and the FMP 45 Tactical, and then when I bust this out, it's the first thing I say is give the reset a shot, and they're just really impressed. I did have one little problem. This stopper here kept coming loose under recoil. What that would do, other than it being loose, is when you tried to flip down the safety, it would move out here, and that would make the safety not come down. So under stress for a carry gun, that was definitely unacceptable. I called Springfield. I sent it back to him. It came back in 1 week, good to go. I also sent in with the factory manual safety and asked if they could install this, even though I already had, and just to make sure that everything was ready to go, and they sent it back like that at no charge. The lifetime warranty is great. It's actually the second 1911 I've had to send in, unfortunately, and both times I had no problems and it came back just perfect. I'll go ahead and take it down for you. One thing, I bought this from Cabela's. It was used. I didn't hardly get any money off a new price, but there weren't really any available at the time. But I did get a pretty good deal on it overall. It didn't come with some tool I've heard was needed to take it down and to put it back together. Well, I'll show you here that tool's not needed, at least for mine. This little bushing that comes out. This is obviously, if you've taken apart a 1911 before, you'll notice that this comes apart a little different than your normal 1911. Well, it's filthy from the last time we shot it. I was shooting some pretty cheap junk ammo through it, but that's the way I like it. Everything else just looks like your normal 1911, just very small. I started my first carry gun was a Glock 26. I moved from the 26 to a USP, a P2000. I'm sorry, I started with a Glock 19, then a Glock 26, then a P2000 SK, and then to this. Just always working on finding something a little slimmer. And really when I settled on this, I couldn't be happier. I could use something a little lighter, but the magazine capacity and the trigger are my favorite parts of it, and it just, for me, that's what makes it worth having. It's very well machined. All the parts on are, up to my knowledge, are machined well, and like I said, outside of the stopper coming out, I haven't had any issues with it. I have heard of people having issues, and it really made me nervous about buying it, but I knew that I could sell it if I didn't like it. That these originally had issues with certain types of ammo. So I would say I've put at least, out of those 500, 700 rounds that I've put through it, I've at least put 200, 250 of them were hollow points. I bought a big batch of hollow points at the gun show, and then I tried all the ammo that I use for defense purposes, and I mean, it ran. I've never had a hiccup out of it, not once. I don't over oil it. I just do the basic oiling and cleaning. Most of my pistols I don't do a lot of cleaning to. These I like to keep a little cleaner. I just didn't get around to it when I took it out shooting last. I actually just bought an ultrasonic cleaner, so I should try that with it today. But for my shooting ability with a pistol, if you've seen my videos on here before, you know that I shoot more long-range tactical, long-range rifle type shooting, so I wouldn't call myself anywhere close to the best pistol shooter. I would call myself probably less than average, and I do seem to shoot 1911s the best. I always seem to get, that one ragged hole that slowly opens up, but it's all in that area versus just, I guess you'd call it flyers with other pistols, and that's my fault. It's just the trigger control that I have, but this, to a certain distance, shoots as well, if not better, than any pistol I've owned. You have a real short sight radius. I'm not sure of the overall sight radius on it, but it's it's obvious. You can see here that it's very short. Try and give you a look down the sights there. but it's just it shoots incredibly well. Most people that I take shooting, if they haven't shot very many guns before, um, I usually start them out with the Glock, or if I have a 22 available, I let them shoot that. But when it comes to pistols, I always let them try this, and this is always the one that consistently across the board people are a better shooter with. So I mean, I recommend this pistol. That's how I recommend it for carry. The only issue that you're going to have is maybe you don't like the length of the pistol grip, which you can shorten slightly by getting the modified magazines. I will put a link to where you can get those in the info bar because I can't remember offhand. And then it's a little heavy. This is an aluminum frame, but it is still a little heavy. But you know, a good holster, a good belt, that really shouldn't bother you. And overall, I feel most comfortable carrying this than my Glock 26, than my Glock 19, than my HK P2000. It just feels like it's not there, and that might have been my holster choice as well. But I don't feel nervous. I don't feel like it's going to get shown, that it's going to be seen. I feel like that I can shoot it accurately, and even under stress that I could do so. So anyway, there it is. That's a Springfield EMP in 9mm. I said it comes in 40 caliber and also 45 gap. I'm not sure if they still make it in 45 gap, but you can definitely find them used. I've seen a couple. Everything else is just typical like a 1911, the way you take it down, magazine release, the grip safety. I've seen a lot of people get checkering on the front. I just didn't feel like spending the money on that, but it does feel better. Every 1911 I shot that had that front checkering just felt great. You can get more aggressive grips, but I'm telling you, if you're not going to have an undershirt on, you're going to feel that. So it's just all personal preference there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.